All right, now we're live on YouTube, guys. So, first of all, I would like to ask you guys to introduce yourself so we can know a little bit more about each other. And go ahead, Erica. What can you say about yourself?
Oh, I'm Erika. I'm from São Paulo, but I live in Argentina almost 2 years. This is my first day on Talk and Talk. So I'm HR specialist and I working on startups. Um, that's it.
All right, very nice having you here, and welcome to TNT. I know you have a great time with everybody here.
Thank you.
Very nice. And how about you, Marcio? What can you say about you?
All right. So good evening. Good evening, you too. So my name is Marcio. I was born in northeast of Brazil, but I live in countryside of São Paulo. And I'm a musician. I love play bass since my childhood. And I am a logistic professional, more specifically warehouse manager, leader. And I like coffee without sugar. Mm, For me, really important coffee without sugar because my grandmother fight me about this sugar, really danger. I agree with her. And what else? That's it about me. Thank you for listening.
Very nice, Marcio. And about me, I'm El Tavares. I'm from São Paulo, the capital. I like to learn languages, to study languages, and to practice them. I intend to work with them in the future. I really like to travel, to go to the beach when that's possible, just to relax a little bit. But it's not always, but I try. And of course, I love animals. I love especially dogs and eating too. I also that's the most thing that I like, the thing that I most like. And I think that's it about me. Just telling some things about the platform, guys. Talk and Talk is a platform where we can practice English, Spanish, Italian, French, and Mandarin. So here's a safe place to make mistakes. We're not here to judge anybody. We're here to learn. And of course, I'm not a teacher, so I'm not going to teach you anything. But everybody's going to learn a lot from each other's point of views, experiences, and that's the main point. Just remember, or remind you guys, this is a conversation 100% in English. Of course, you can say some words in Portuguese if that's necessary. That's totally fine, but it's mainly in English.
Mhm.
And since I've already started, I can say the topic of today's immersion is how important is education in your life, and how have your school experiences shaped who you are today? A really great interest and interesting theme. And let's start, guys. So, Erica, about number one, that is actually number two. What is your best memory from your school? Do you have one favorite?
I hated school. I hated. So I like my friends, but I cannot say that I have good memories about what I studied because I don't believe in the methodology in the schools today in Brazil. This is not an environment for everybody, for to everybody, to every brain. So I really hated school. Didn't shape me for any good thing, anything that is good to my life today. Everything that I choose was after school, after college, with my real life experiences. So it's sad story. I didn't suffer with bullying or anything. I just hated because I didn't learn how I could because I don't believe that the one way to teach should for teach everything to everybody. So this is my history at school.
Let's see. And what do you think it is the ideal one? If that's
I
not
don't
the
think
best.
that's idea one. I think nowadays we know about neurodiversity. It's a thing. So it's a really, really thing. It's not. It, it's not. How can I say? I forgot. If there are neurodiversity, if you are diversity, there's a lot of ways to teach everything. So methodologies with more speaking, more visual, or more reading. Depends. You have to be I don't know if the right word was diagnostic, but I think since we're kids, you have to know a lot of ways to learn and choose in the first part of our childhood. So this is what I believe. There's no one way. We are 8 billions of people in this world. There's not one way to teach everybody.
Let's see. And do you think maybe the homeschooling can help with this? Because
I believe
each
it's
person,
not. I believe, but it's not to everybody. Again, it depends. You have to try. You have to learn. You have to teach your kid when they are really, 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 really young, and try. And because now these days, I know I learning everything listening. I don't learning reading. I don't learning with books, but listening. Everything in my life is listening. I can spend all day long studying and listening videos or podcasts, everything. And I learn very, very fast. But I cannot read. Don't give me a book for me to read. So I know I don't work, but I just learned this in 2 years ago. But my life changed, and now I learn everything that I want really fast because I know what works for me.
yeah, as you said, it's different for each person, and it's so important to keep that in mind of trying different things until we can really find out what really works for us. Because for
Yep.
me, it can be one thing just by reading, for example, and for you, it's by listening, and for the other one is another completely different thing. And
Yep.
I totally agree with you. The schools maybe they try to make everyone the same person, but each
Yes.
person is different. So having this in mind can really avoid this not exploring what we should, not finding out what our great points, our high points, and of course with the those who need more necessity, more
Mhm.
help with things, they also don't have the ideal help from school. So
Mhm.
that's really, I see your point here. And how about you, Marcio? What was your best memory from school?
Best memory for school, I don't remember. But I remember my bad bad memory. For example, wake up early. Really complicated in the past. Today, really so good. For me, I like wake up today because today I enjoy the moment and in the day. But in the school, I was I was not so good studied because I don't know because I didn't pay attention about the learning or teacher or and colleagues, for example. Yeah, best I don't remember. I remember bad memory. Wake up because my mom fight me, fought, fought me about the wake up. Yes, but today I like wake up early. In the past, I didn't like. And yeah, that's it.
No, right. I think I was just like you, but I had this point of view of, okay, I don't like to wake up early, but if I do that and I study in the morning, after that I can have my afternoon free to to do whatever I want. So for me, it's better than studying at in the afternoon, in the evening, and then just sleeping, and when I wake up, I already have to go to school again. So for me, that wasn't really my thing. So even though it's like the shower when it's cold, you don't want to get in the shower, but once you're there, you do want to get out.
Mhm.
But it's something like that. And Marcia, about the second, that is actually number 3. Which teacher inspired you the most and why? You said you didn't have great memories from the school, but did you have any inspiring teacher or
Yeah,
principal?
yeah. I have a and good teacher. My, how can I say, my dad, because taught me about the music. High school, I don't have because I pay attention about the music, for example, and string instrument. Yeah, my teacher spirit, my dad, and fight me about the study, the learning in music, for example. And what else? In high school, I didn't like about the geography. I don't know English. Yeah, and for me, about the planet, I didn't like, you know, but he inspired me, my dad, because taught me and teach me about the music.
It's so great that you said about it because the majority part of the time parents are usually not diminuindo, but they don't play this thing about teaching about the instruments. But that's great that you had this opportunity and that your father was great and was there for you to teach you there and to teach you that, and specifically about this important area that you really liked, you said it, and that really made the difference for you, you know. And did you have one specific, you said you hated geography, but what about the other one that you really liked? Did you have one like math? Did you really like
Mm,
math, for example?
No, no, no. I didn't like math because really complicated, it's for me. And so I don't
High school
know the,
education.
yeah, that's it. Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Okay, very nice. And how was that for you, Erica?
I was thinking about it, and I really don't have an inspired teacher. Teacher. I don't have this memory. I was thinking, and I can say the what I want like it is I studied, but teachers, persons, I cannot say that I was inspired.
Neither now, like any teacher
Now,
professor.
no, and the last 10 years, I was inspired by women boss that I had. They really inspired me and challenged me, and I grew up with a lot in my career with them. But and they teach me a lot. Was kind of teacher, but just boss. Teacher from college, teacher from school.
No,
No,
see, but you said about the bosses, I don't know, that you had. How was that experience? Did you have like, were you against like that, like their teaching method, or no, you were totally okay with that because they were fine, or how was that for you?
I love it because they were really honest people, and they don't were she was not afraid to say what she needed to say. She don't was a political person. She was not afraid about what her boss uh, what to say, and her boss was the owner of the company. So, but she said everything that she needs says. I don't know how to say this, but with a lot. But she was wise, and even when she didn't know something, she was brave enough to say, "I don't know this. I never heard about it. Tell me, please." She was like, I don't know how to say humilde, yes,
Um,
humble, honest, brave, and challenge everybody, challenging her team. So I was challenged a lot. was not easy. Sometimes I wanted to kill her, but I am when I am in my career right now because of two women boss. So this was inspired for me. I hope that I hope that I should, I don't know how to say. I hope that I am like a little bit like at the end right now with my team. I don't know, but I try every day.
That's so interesting. I feel like it's so great talking to wise people. You know, I do have this feeling to like, all right, I feel like I'm so I can learn so many things from them, and I really like to talking to people like this too. And I can say I had a few of them, and not gonna lie, at school, but the main ones I'd say it's out of school. Like, of course, they teach you, they give you the base maybe, but after the school, after that's done, we have contact with other people too, and with the technology, social media, we can get to know other people, influencers, you know, but not just influencers because they are influencer now, but the ones who really got where you want to be. So for me, it's something really great that I use as an inspiration to see, okay, that man is billionaire, what can I learn from him? So I really have this in my vein, you know, to try to understand, to learn as much as I can from each person. So that's really interesting that you said that. And Marcia, about the next question, can you read it and answer?
Sure, sure. And number 4. And if you could go back in time and give your younger self one piece of advice about school, what would it be? Hmm, so if I could go back, I would to tell my young self to take learning English more seriously, for example. Yeah, because English in the past and today really important, really necessary. Yeah, example, geography, math, Portuguese. Yeah, I don't know, English redação, really important our life. But if you could go back, yeah, it's up to take learning English more seriously, you know, because in high school, uh, teach about the verb to be. I I don't know. I didn't know in the past, you know. Yeah. So because this, yeah, I missed the opportunity because I didn't focus about the English. I didn't focus enough in, yeah, about the English. All the, yeah, today, all the importance of the language in my life, in language in my life today. And why say these answers? Because in the past, I lost good opportunity about the my area. And I didn't know English, but I did uh, I didn't know English. Yeah, because this I lost good opportunity about my area. And process I know, you know, in the logistics, but I didn't know English because this, and if I could go back and to take learning English more seriously.
I see. But I'm curious now. Do you think that was because you could have been better? You could have focused more on English, or maybe you could, but you were focusing, or you had other priorities in your life, or were you just hanging out and cool with the life? Or no, you were studying, even though that wasn't English, but you were studying something. How
So
was that?
about it, okay. So about the language today, because I lost a good opportunity. And yeah, because I am studying every day, I guess. And this language, but I like this word. It's a process. Yeah, today I like study English. Yeah, in the past, really hard, really bad for me. And yeah, nowadays I really like to study English, because how can I say? In my case, I've never studied English on Talk Talk. You know, After Talk Talk helped me about the speaking. Not so good and not so bad, but it's a process, of course, and helped me a lot. And before I didn't like it. Sorry, uh, I've never studied on Talk Talk about the um, website, for example, YouTube video, for example, and to practice English, for example. Yeah, for me, and because this, I really like to study English, but grammar and vocabulary really hard because sometimes I don't have pay attention about the new words or new vocabulary, new grammar. But yeah, it's a process. Studying every day. Yeah, sometimes a little word, for example, uh, I've saved, in my mind or in my when I hear a new word, because there is I like language.
Very nice sharing your history with us. That's I totally agree with what you said. It's a process. And maybe okay, you can think like, oh, I should have done differently, things differently. I should have studied more English. Now you have this vision, but maybe that was necessary for you to see things in a different way now, in a more mature way, maybe with all the experience that you have. Maybe that was necessary for you to be who you are now. So okay, maybe you could have done things differently, but okay, I cannot change the past, so what can I do now? That's exactly what you're doing. So I'm studying English now, so I know I can improve myself. So I can improve myself and be really better than what I am now. But I know it's a process, so that's totally fine and interesting about what you said. I totally agree with you. And for me, that's too. I think I could have studied English more in the past, but I do know I can do that now. Of course, maybe when we do things later, we don't have the same opportunities. But as we were saying, it's better than not doing anything. And then, okay, the time will pass anyway. So let me do it now while I can. And related, I don't know if that's related. In relação the future, will not have the same energy. So now is the best moment for us to start. It doesn't matter the moment, but we'll never ever have the same energy again. We'll always be getting older. So it's part of the process. If we can just start things right away, start learning a new language or improving yourself, soft skills, hard skills, anything, that's totally better for us. And how's that for you, Erica?
Which advice?
Yeah.
I think I could say, just just complete this phase of your life. Just graduated. Nothing here will determine of the rest of your life. These grades, these people, this school, they are nothing to do with your future. I would say like that. Just graduated. Go finish. And after college, my life started. I feel like this. So I I I think I would say this.
Okay. The one thing, it's not the main one, but I can say like just it's related to that, but do your best. Doesn't matter the situation. It's hard. Things get hard, and things will only get harder during the time. So let's just do the things we can now. So just do your best. Just believe that everything will be fine, and the process can be painful sometimes, but as we were saying, as Marcia said, it's part of the process. So let's just keep with it and try to manage things as better as we can. So Erica, about the next question, could you read it and answer?
It's 5.
Yeah.
How important is education in your life? Well, college was. I have a really issue with this conversation because when I just left school and started college, I don't believe that everybody with 17 years old can choose a lifetime career, can choose a way, just one way. And I had to do this because my family was pushing me. And with 21 years old, I was leaving my college. I graduated in communication, but I was not happy. I felt so lost, so sad. So I was so disappointed with myself. I didn't know why. So it's important, but it's more important you have a life, you try some things, you travel, go to internship, study a lot of things. You're allowed to not finish. You have to try, you have to know. You cannot choose a lifetime career. You spend 5 years in a college. If you don't have a life before, if you don't work a little bit, if you don't know people a little bit, if you don't travel a little bit. So it's important, super important, but will be super useful if you have more, if you're sure before that the year started. For me, it's okay. Uh, everybody had to right to know. Sometimes with 17, I just realized what I wanted with 17 years old, and 10 years ago, and I started study everything that I want, everything that makes sense for my life. At this point, studies changing my life, my career, everything. But with 17 years old, so it's important, but it's more important you know what you don't want to do, or you know what you don't want. It's more useful for me. So I see
Let's
this
see.
way.
So interesting what you said. And what's your opinion on this, Marcio?
All right. So about the education is fundamental in my life, but not just at school. More important in my house and family. Really important is more fundamental. And yeah, in my house, in my family, because I have a different opinion. For example, my grandmother has different opinion, my dad different opinion, for example, because it has opened door, opened my life, open my mind, for example, and about the in general professional or my life in my opinion, you know. Yeah, at school, yeah, really important, of course, but at home, for example, I don't know English and lidar a family really hard, because I have family, because this education is fundamental in my life at home, of course. And and what else? Continuous learning is something, yeah, I value deeply. Yeah, continue learning is something I value deeply, for example, and learning another area and another and books. Yeah, just TV, for example. But for me, education is more fundamental in my house. Because, yeah, I said I don't know English lidar for people really complicated, and about the opinions, and that's it.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Like I'd say, of course, as we all said, the school is important, the role of the school is important, especially in the beginning years, the first years. But as Marcio said, I do believe that the main point of education, the main source of education that the children can have is from their home, is from their parents, basically. So the people who surround them is the main points, the main source of education, because it's clear, we can see about the context of people, like, okay, if we see the parents are there, they teach their children, they have this great relationship with them, and not just a great relationship, but they teach them, they explain things, they really had this preoccupation of, okay, I'm creating a human being, so I'm responsible for that. I need to do, I need to be aware of what I'm doing with them. And of course, I can make mistakes, but I'm going to learn with it, and we're going to learn together, because it's my first time living a life, and it's their first time living a life too. So we're basically learning everything together, and it's part of the process. So I totally am. I totally agree with you, Marcio, about that. And of course, about Erica, about what Erica said too. It's not just at school, it's it's fundamental too, but talking about different things, about different environments that we can get this education from, just example, as at the work, with the education that boss superiors can give to us, is really important to having this thing, and not only from the people above us, but from people that we could consider have less knowledge as us, because I do believe that everybody has something to teach to us. It doesn't matter that's what it is, but we always have somebody to teach us something, so that's what I think. And it's so essential, it's crucial for us to have a great minds in general, not only about the academic side, but also living, as Erica said, just trying some things. I'm young too, so I also, I am experienced these new different things about the languages, about translating, interpretation, about subtitling, everything that I can, about art. I do a lot of art creations, everything, traveling. So that's basically what I'm doing. It's something really interesting that I can say. And that's it. Somebody, maybe we can have these people, we can have these strict parents maybe pushing us to, or strict family pushing us to some things, but it's part of life to discover things by our own, to have our own experiences, opinions, and that's it. We are different individuals, and something that we can learn from it is that, okay, I have my own opinions, I have my own life. it's not it doesn't mean that I'm not going to listen to you or respect you, but just live a different life that than what you wanted me to live, basically. But Marcio, about the next question, number 6, what do you think about the importance of encouraging children to read? Do you think that's important?
Yeah, of course, sure. And in my case, I have a little daughter. I encourage to read in general, because this my little daughter loves to read books and read different about me, but I encourage my little daughter and read, because read develop these crucial things, and for example, creativity and empathy, and yeah, it's also helps improve language skill, improve your opinion, for example. And in the future, communicate for future communications, and really so good, because I encourage every day my little daughter read books, because I have every day I have good opportunity when I heard your opinion. In the morning, for example, we love to ride by bike and before work, because and your opinion really different about me. It's amazing, Oh my goodness, really different. Yeah, your lyrics and I don't know English. And when I say pontuação, when she's talking about in your opinion, and because I encourage and read books fast, really fast. My daughter read books really fast. Because I encourage every day read, and he read one book, for example, and improve language skill. Really important. Your creativity and empathy. That's it. I encourage every day read books first.
Very nice. I think it's amazing when we can see things like that. Like I don't know how that was for you, but for example, in two cases, okay, I received that, a great thing. So I'm going to pass that to children now. So it's really amazing what you do. And of course, the opposite, like, okay, I didn't receive that when I was younger. So I know how that hurt me, how that made me suffer, or how that could be different. So now I'm going to be the change. I'm going to make it different with my children. And it's something really great that you said. And to acompanhar this process of them evolving, having this evolution every day. As you said, it's something unique. So that's really great about what you said. And thank you for sharing that more experience that you have. That's really amazing. And what do you think of this, Erika?
Of what? Can
Sorry?
you ask the all question? Think of this what exactly, because he spoke a lot.
Yeah, no, about the question number 6. That is the base.
Okay. What do you think about the importance of encouraging children to read? Read. This is important. Sorry, I don't like kids. I don't have kids. I don't know nothing about kids. I really don't not interested about kids. So this is important. They have to study, and I stop there with my opinion.
All right, no problem. And about what do you think about the next question? Can you read it and answer?
Do you believe education should be more practical or what theoretical? What a word! I don't think that have to be A or B. I think the schools have to have to give the opportunity to be A, B, C, D ways to learn, theoretical, practical, in another methodologies that I don't know. I really don't, I cannot say that there's one good one. For me, it's practical. But for you, maybe can just reading and writing, it's enough. For me, I think for me, just to me, like I think, to me, just practical. But I don't believe there's just one way. We are super different. So.
And how do you think that should work at school? Like, for example, keeping the schools in topic, how do you think that could be managed?
Maybe with a few tests on the students, you can understand better, and tests physiological tests and improvement in studying tests about their way to see their life, or they understand things, logical things, math, Portuguese, everything that you have to study. But when I don't know, but in my school there's a way like quinta série A, the best students, quinta série B, the más o menos. Perdón. I switch for Spanish every time. Sorry, as quinta série B, los que sorry, it's a long day. I have to speak Spanish all day long, so I switch a lot. Quinta série B, so that's not perfect students. Quinta série C, the worst. The school is like that. The professors have a way to teach each class, but this methodology, like better, not so better, the worst, makes no sense, because why you cannot change it? This class, they are super visual persons. They will work a lot with the hands, seeing things. They will be 100% paying attention on this if you work like this way. And quinta série B, they were the kind of person that understand everything with logical, a lot of math, a lot of examples. So you can use this methodology. I believe the schools can be like that.
I see. Very interesting. And let me see. About you, Marcio, do you agree with her? Do you believe that education should be more practical or theoretical?
I believe education should try strike a balance between practical and theoretical. I get this word, theoretical, and balance between practical and theoretical, because the theory is really important. Yeah, strong foundation. Yeah, and practical applications and about this word practice, read and writing, in general, and at school, for example. And I believe education should strike a balance between practical and theoretical. Yeah, that's it.
Very interesting. I do agree with you guys. I think it's, as Mark said, there should have a balance. There should be a balance between these possibilities, and of course, try to extract. I don't know, to not to take, but to explore more the high points of the great activity. No, the great, yeah, the great points, I can say, the great point from the students, and also to work on their weakness too, about the things that they have this lack on, and be able to not, of course, to explore both. So the ones who have more facilities in one thing, they can do that, and about their lack of things about one other topic, that can be improved too. Everything can improve. So that's what I think. And for that, I do believe that everything should be treated differently, because it's different practice, it's different for each person. So I do believe like that. And Mars, about number 8, how important is it to have hobbies and extracurricular activities during school? You said you really liked to play the bass, to play instruments. Do you think it's related?
Yeah, hobbies and extra extracurricular activities are very important during school, you know, because you said about the music, for example. I play bass and help me about the develop soft skill, for example. And yeah, like can I say teamwork? Yeah, and and time management, and because I provide a break for a break, the pay attention, for example, in at school. Yeah, really important, helped me a lot about the music, for example, in at school. And hobbies and as extracurricular activities are very important to during at school.
I see. And did you have or do you have any other hobbies out of instead not instead out of the playing instruments, different instruments?
Yeah, string instruments, you know, and just string instruments in during the in my childhood in my at school, for example.
Mm-hmm. I see. So interesting. And how was that for you, Erica? Do you have or did you have any hobbies? Do you think it's important?
It's super important because for me, to me, these days, it's mental health. And as a HR, I always want to know what people do in your free time because this tell a lot about your mental health, about your way to live each day, to live the way that you're manage your life. So when I was at school, I didn't have because I have a really conservative, I don't know how to say conservadora, education conservadora, and I didn't have freedom to do a lot of things. So it was like church and school uh, until my 21 years old. But now these days, I go to the gym. I love dogs. I work as a voluntary in ONGs about dogs. I have a dog, yellow Brazilian dog that came with me to Argentina. And I like to go to, I don't know if I say trekking because trekking is like hard. I wanted to go to long walks on the mountains because I live close to the mountains here, and I practice yoga, mindfulness, meditations, and things like that these days because it's good to my mental health. And the life is not just work, and study. It's so much more. But since my 25 years old, I started to have this time of my life. So that maybe if I had when I was a teenager, I I was able to learn a lot of more things and know people and know another things and try more things and start my adult life with more clarity.
Nothing. So interesting. I do, fortunately, I had this opportunity to have different hobbies, try different things, and I'm still doing it. So I do believe that, as you guys said, this is so important having this opportunity to do that, so we can kind of already start to understand what path we are following, and just to try some things. Maybe it's something that in the beginning that cannot make sense. Okay, you can know you like it, but then after a while you just leave it there alone. You don't practice anymore. But then after a while, after some years, maybe you can redo that, remember that practice that you had, and maybe that can become your new job. That can
Mhm,
come to you differently.
mhm,
So having this in mind, I do believe that it's so great having that these different hobbies, and just to try without this commitment of, no, I have to, if I start something, I need to go until the end. That is just some saying something like that. No, just try some things different. That's okay. That's okay if you're not great at the hobby that you chose. and that's okay. Let's just try another thing. That's what I think. But having this is so important for us to understand better how we work. As we were saying, okay, I work in a different way than you, and that's it. There's no problem with it. I don't see any problem with it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's something that the schools, especially, should try to instigate more on the children, so we could have more people doing what they like to do, having this opportunity to not to follow one specific path because the people expect them to do that, but just to do the what they need to do and what they like to do also. So guys, the time's up. I wish we had more time to discuss about this really great topic, but I want to ask you guys one more question that is not on the list. And the question is, what did you learn tonight in the conversation? It can be about a new word, a new expression in English, anything about anything, for example, in Marcio, what you're going to do with your child, with your daughter, something, and a different experience that you're going to have with her, anything. So Marcio, can you start? What did you learn?
So I learned about my speaking, no, English skill, my English skill. Yeah, learning about the educations. Yeah, really important in my life. Firstly, and sure, yeah, it depends on me, of course, because I like this word. It's a process. Example, English, for example, and I learned about the education in general.
Very nice. I want to congratulate you for your English, your dedication that you have here, that you're having here just by being here now. It's always a great time having you here and meeting you because you are really an inspiration, even for me that I arrived recently on TNT. So thank you very much for being who you are and being here, always contributing, contributing for our conversations. So thank you very much again. And how about you, Erica? What did you learn?
I was thinking about that because I learned that I really had to know more vocabulary about this topic because this was I spent all my day in English, but this conversation was hard for me because I didn't have the words, and I didn't really, I don't have it. Sometimes I have it, but I don't remember. But this time I don't have it. So was not a lot specific to me to in this conversation. I just realized that about this topic, study, school, and in the past, I have to learn a little bit more. I have to study a little bit more. Um, is this? I
All
call
right. That's nice. Thank you all very much for being here. That was a pleasure, always a pleasure. And of course, I just sent the survey link on the chat. So if you guys can, please just click there and leave a comment telling how the conversation was for you. If you have any suggestions about what we can discuss more about in the future.
Man, this link, it's just about this immersion, or can be
Yeah,
about all my day on the talk and talk. So like, only about this.
yeah, this is about this immersion, but you can tell other things too about the your whole day, your other experiences too. Of course, if that's better, it's better. Okay, if something happens in this conversation that you want to tell, it's better for you to click on this link because it's different on each immersion. So that's why
Okay.
I'm saying this.
Okay.
But if you can say about your whole day, that's okay.
Okay.
So that's it, guys. Thank you very much, and I hope to see you again really soon. Bye
You
bye.
too.
Yeah. Good